All right, we just got back. Oh, just for the record, she's driving. We just came out of Whitney Houston's I Wanna Dance with Somebody. So I know I didn't really want to go see it.
With somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. You can't tell me you can go to a movie that talks about a singer and not sing along.
I know, but we getting ready to talk now.
I was laughing at the lady sitting next to me. I said,
everybody was singing a song.
No. I said to her, when I sat down, I said, I hope you don't mind if I sing along. She
Lord.
said, oh, by chance. She said, even if you can't sing, we're going to sing too.
Right, okay. Well, first of all, I really didn't want to go see the movie. I still don't. It's still a movie I could have missed. I wouldn't have been mad.
For what we paid for it.
Right, you're right. You're right. It wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't a good movie.
No, it wasn't.
It was not a good movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I felt like it was surfacey.
Yeah.
Very surfacey.
Almost like the James Brown one.
Very surfacey.
Yeah.
In other words, I don't know. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
They start off with her singing in church. Okay.
Yeah, okay, because we know that was her roots.
We know that's her roots. Her mom is if this is spoiler alert, so if you don't want to go see the movie, don't watch this because we're gonna talk about the movie. I didn't realize
how big her mom was.
Well, we knew she sung with Aretha Franklin and all that stuff. And remember her cousin is Dionne Warwick. So we knew they was in the business.
And I didn't know she went to a private school.
Right. So it started off with her singing in church, okay, and we could tell she was bored out of her mind, even though she was singing in church. But it did show she had church background.
Yeah,
she had religious roots.
Church.
She had religious roots,
and it showed how she likes to color songs.
Right,
she don't just sing it straight.
And it showed her mom kind of Joe Jacksonish.
Yeah.
All of these movies with these people,
mom and dad.
The dad or the moms are Joe Jackson.
Yes.
They pushing them. They, you better do this, or you're not singing that right. Or,
and I did understand her mom saying there's 3 places where the music comes from.
Your head, your heart, and your stomach. So we got that.
Okay.
Sing from your heart, which Whitney Houston did.
Yeah, she didn't really want to sing anything she wasn't feeling or she didn't agree with.
And to be honest with you, going back listening to Whitney Houston, she was a great singer, but she really was more showy.
Yeah.
Didn't you notice that more? Now that we're in 2023 and we go back and we listen to like other people who sing and stuff, she really was like, okay. She had her tone. It's what made Whitney Houston.
Yeah, it was different.
Because when she sung
I'm Everyone
Home or any of those,
a song that other people have sang,
that we was like, no, they sung it better. I was thinking Jennifer Holliday sung her song better.
I like hers better.
And Shaka Khan. But Whitney was Whitney.
She had her own sound.
She had her own sound. It's like Michael. That's why I said when people keep saying Michael Jackson wasn't the greatest singer.
Yes.
He was a performer.
But he had a unique voice.
He had a unique voice, and he was a performer.
Yeah.
He can get out there and crack a song.
Yeah.
That's Whitney Houston.
That's Whitney.
Not to me, the best singer in the world. Because when you listen to her tone is like CeCe Winans. CeCe Winans to me is a better singer. Don't you think?
CeCe has a different
delivery.
They have the similar tone.
Same tone.
But because Whitney sings higher.
Yes.
She has a higher range.
Than CeCe. Yeah. But okay, go back. So they start off in the beginning with the church, and we get the Joe Jackson mother pushing Whitney to sing.
I think the dad was more Joe. Because they both had Joe Jackson a little bit in them.
Yeah, she had 2 Joe Jacksons.
Oh, Lord.
She didn't have a chance in the world.
She did.
Her mother and her father was Joe Jackson.
But I kind of got her mom. Her mom was pushing her because her mom was a singer.
Her mom was pushing her more to be seasoned.
Yes.
To appreciate the art.
The art.
And that might have come from her being with people like Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin was a musician.
Yes. Yeah.
She wasn't just a singer.
Just like Nat King Cole.
They were musicians. So they
sing well.
You got to hit those notes. You can't be flat on a certain note. Yeah. You can color and do all the other stuff you want.
Exactly. You just do the basic.
But the basic got to be there.
What did they call it? Melody.
The melody got to be there, and you got to sing from the heart.
Yes.
Because Aretha Franklin sang from the heart.
Yes.
So you could tell her mom got that from her.
Right.
All right, so we got, and I never thought her mother could sing good. Sorry,
she sang okay.
She was like an old lady.
More backup.
It was an old lady type.
Maybe when she was younger, she sang better.
Maybe, I don't know.
And of course, we know her cousin.
She was like,
Warwick had a unique sound.
Yeah, right, Mom. I think you sing better than her mom.
Yeah, Mama sing better.
Yeah,
she was medium.
She was medium,
and of course, Dionne Warwick had a different style.
What'd you say, Mom?
Was just excellent.
Yeah, Whitney was just good, brilliant. Yeah. And you do okay. Let's talk about the good things about the movie. And then, or you want to start on the bad things about the movie?
Well, we're going to do good and bad. But let's first of all talk about, we've heard her story. What is
we know Whitney Houston's story.
No. I thought I did. What was it in this movie that revealed that you didn't know?
There was not one thing in this movie that I did not know.
I did not know she was with Jermaine Jackson.
I knew that.
I didn't.
See, I knew that.
I didn't know she had a fling with him.
I knew that.
Okay.
You said me. Is there anything in the movie that I found out? There was not one thing in this movie that I did not already know about Whitney Houston.
Okay, I did.
Now, there is a lot of things that I know about Whitney Houston that was not in the movie.
Okay.
That's why I said it was an okay movie.
Now, it made a comment before we go into good and bad.
It's like a James Brown movie and he don't beat his wife in the movie.
Exactly.
We all know James Brown beat his wife.
Watch out. I have an arrow.
It don't matter. She's still going. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Okay. One of the things that I noticed that they made sure they said was when she was with Bobby Brown. Honey, you didn't. I was on drugs before.
Right.
We met.
So you get. Well, Bobby said that already, but everybody
tell the media that the media ate it up.
Yeah,
that he was really responsible for her and her drug addiction.
But he didn't help.
He magnified.
He magnified. Okay, so. Starting off in the church, what I would have liked, we'll go back and forth with good and bad.
They did that with Tina Turner too.
What I would have liked to see, what I would have loved to see is more of the church connection, because it's such a huge part of her death. And her relationship with CeCe Winans. And her relationship with gospel artists. They didn't show that at all. Kind of what you said, Ma. Before she died, it was noted. She tried to call her pastor.
She went to an evangelist.
She went to a church. None of that was shown.
No.
None of it.
It's like the only time it was mentioned at the beginning when her dad suggested, because she's in the limelight.
She was in a lesbian relationship. She was
with her friend Robin.
We all know about
that. Her friend from the beginning.
Like Queen Latifah. Her best friend was always her girlfriend.
Her girlfriend.
We
so
know
her
that.
dad was like, to show the part, play the part in the public eye, you don't need to show that. You need to be with a male.
But
she mentioned as far as the Bible and all of that.
She didn't want to go to hell.
Mention of that.
She felt like that's wrong. Homosexuality is wrong, so she shouldn't be feeling this way.
Exactly.
But in reality, she continued her relationship with Robin, which the movie didn't show.
End, right?
No, it was all the way throughout the whole thing.
No,
Bobby Brown said that.
Robin was to the end.
Yeah, she stayed with Robin the whole time.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
But the movie didn't really show that. They kind of showed them like, we're not supposed to do this. We're just gonna be best friends throughout the movie.
Well, wasn't there some bump in the head? At least with there was a little season of Bobby and
Bobby bumped heads.
Robin, and then Robin was still in the background.
And that came from Bobby. That's why I said there's some stuff that, because I listened to Bobby tell the story of him and Whitney, that I know from listening to him tell his side. He always knew that Robin and Whitney loved each other. But Whitney was bisexual. She wasn't lesbian. She also loved Bobby.
Yes, she did.
So you just see they just kind of touched on it and then moved on. So that part I didn't like. Again, her spiritual connection, I felt like they
omitted that.
They omitted it.
Okay.
And they shouldn't have, because it was such a huge part of her death.
Right.
I felt like that omission was not good.
Right.
Because that's the battle. It's the battle. It's the same thing with Marvin Gaye. It's that battle of singing secular music, and Christian music,
and being with both groups.
That battle, you gotta have. If you have people who have that kind of a conflict in their life, you have to put that in the movie.
Right.
That's a huge part of their life.
Right. And a lot of the void that void that was in her life, we all knew that the drugs kind of played a part of that, trying to fill it.
They never really, they kind of touched on why she started drugs, I guess, because her mom and dad was arguing.
Abusive relationship there.
And it kind of showed that her brother kind of introduced her to it.
Yeah.
Because she would go in his room and he was doing drugs.
I think he admitted that, though.
And he probably admitted he the one that got her on drugs.
Introducing her to that.
So it wasn't
come in here and escape.
It wasn't Bobby. It was her brother.
It was her brother.
That kind of hooked her on to drugs.
Yep.
It didn't really show me. They kept showing her wanting to be famous and sing.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't tell me why. They kept doing the father saying, "You're my princess," the mom saying, "You're my princess."
Do you think that they would have just assumed with the mom and the cousin that, because she was talking to Robin when she first met her,
mm-hmm.
and said, "My mom is this and my cousin," but I want. It's almost like she was trying to do that dream but bigger.
But why? Did she have a passion for music, and a passion to be famous, and a passion? You know what I'm saying? They didn't really like.
Clyde asked her, "Did she write?" And she said no.
She said no, and he said, "We can find people to write for you."
What kind of music do you want to sing?
And then she was
like saying big.
I just want. That's not really answering the question, though. So that's why I said that movie. I felt like it didn't capture the essence of who she was.
What made her drive.
And maybe people don't know. Maybe that's why everybody that she knows is gone, probably.
Her mom still alive? Is she?
Maybe her mom didn't really know her that much. You know what I'm saying?
She was on the road again. Her dad.
Her mom was on the road.
Comment
they did.
He said, "Who took care of you when your mom was traveling?"
Mom. And you can tell.
Yeah.
Her mom. She wasn't, in my opinion, her relationship with her mom and her dad was love, but it wasn't close.
No.
I didn't feel like she was close to them.
Okay.
She kept telling Robin, "You the only one I trust."
Yes. Her friend
You
Robin.
the only one I trust. For you to have a family.
And then had to look at the books because she said her dad didn't realize
was robbing her, taking her money. Yeah.
So she didn't trust
taking her money.
Family.
Yeah. So I just felt like it was a lot.
We didn't get the
essence of
her foundation.
We didn't get the essence of her
with her mom and dad.
Now we did get the concert. I love it because it played her original music.
Okay.
So we got a chance to hear the real Whitney, and I actually like that they played the live versions. Because we know the recorded versions of her songs.
The live versions, she did more ad-libbing.
Yeah, to hear her live versions of stuff, I felt like it was more. It was allowing the fans to hear stuff that we probably don't hear that often.
Right, and they did say that there were parts where the actress playing her did her own voice.
Oh, so she sounds like her then.
They had her do her own voice.
Well, you know,
like for rehearsal.
You know, my biggest complaint to the movie is that she didn't look anything like Whitney Houston.
No, you get that when you first look at it, but it's nothing you could do about it.
I felt like it took away from it, though.
I see what you're saying. It does.
Like what do you think, Ma?
No, she didn't look too much.
Do you think that took away from the movie with her not looking like her?
Because
I think it took away from the movie to me.
Yeah, they could have made her look a little bit more like.
And you know why? Because Whitney Houston, not only her voice, but it was her looks. Whitney wasn't just a voice. It was the whole package. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I did like that. They kind of touched on the fact that she was a different person in private than she was in public. Now, if you watch the Whitney Houston and the Bobby Brown reality show, you know the real Whitney.
Oh gosh, she had a smart
Whitney
mouth.
was ghetto.
They didn't show
and
her.
That's why you heard Bobby say we both from the hood.
Yeah.
That movie didn't really make her ghetto.
No, it didn't.
They tried. I think the actress tried.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she played ghetto. I don't think the actress know how to play ghetto.
That actress?
Yeah. I think she tried.
What parts of the movie would have been ghetto, though?
I guess when she got on dope, I guess.
No, when she was with Bobby.
They didn't show her disrespectful a lot. They only showed little bits of it. Because she had a smart mouth. Very sarcastic.
And she was cruel to fans and stuff. They showed a little of that when people come up there and say, "Can I have your autograph?" No. Stuff that was Whitney.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know, man. I guess I need to see a Whitney and a Bobby movie.
You know what? How was the Bobby story? Did he show the
no,
playing the Whitney?
Not that much. None of them touch. They all touch on it, and none of them really. But can you imagine a real Whitney and Bobby movie? Just that time when they was together.
It would have to be when the family is gone, because it's almost like her mom's still alive, right?
Yeah.
They always get control over the storyline. They don't want too much out.
I think they tried to touch on the Bobby Christina thing because we all know how that ended with her daughter.
Oh God, yeah.
So I think they tried to touch on it to show that, because she kept saying she sees everything. And then she told Clive everything.
She's on the road with them. And she takes her on the road with her.
She sees when they do drugs. She saw everything. So that kind of formulated Bobby Christina, who she was.
But it also showed her singing to her at the rehab, or when she came home from the rehab.
Yeah.
So her daughter had an understanding that her mom was having problems with
But
drugs.
I knew that from the real life. I knew Bobby Christina at a young age was taking care of her mom on drugs. We know that. We watched the whole thing unravel.
Yeah.
And I remember Bobby Christina taking care of her mom.
Yeah.
And her mom, Whitney Houston, towards the end of her life was a mess. Yeah. Anytime you saw Whitney Houston, her hair was disheveled, and they tried to make it seem like she was on the road to recovery, and then she slipped the night of the Grammys. No, she was on drugs way before that.
Sad.
She was on drugs when she did the Diane, what's her name, interview. Yeah, and she said, no, I don't do crack.
Oh yeah,
never crack.
She got smart.
Crack is whack.
Yeah.
She was on drugs then.
She was on drugs then.
So they tried to make it seem like she cleaned up, and then the night of the Grammys is when she slipped and went back. That's not true. And she had a total battle with drugs her whole life.
Yeah, and they were showing Clyde at the beginning in her music. He said he didn't get involved personally with his art, but he did with her.
Yeah, Clive, to me, I felt like Clive felt...
It's almost like he took her under his wings.
I felt like Clive knew she was special. Yeah. Kind of like Berry Gordy with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know when somebody walks in your office and you
pay more attention to them.
You know they singing or they whatever, and you like, okay. And maybe this is Clive, if he had anything to do with this movie and maybe saying something, maybe he felt he should have intervened more. Because he didn't.
Well, he did tell her she needed to go to rehab. He did talk to her about that.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned Julie Garland and what's the other singer? Janice.
Yeah.
They had drug problems and it took them out.
Just took
them out. So he was trying to open up, enlighten her. You need help because it's going to take you out.
It's taken all of them.
It has.
All of them. Michael Jackson, Prince. Even though it's not what people... I think Luther was on drugs too. I think, yeah. It's a huge, and you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. It not only enhances, it gives you energy or whatever.
Yeah.
Because
it takes you on a creative journey as well.
It helps you creatively. You have to learn how to create without being on drugs. I've never done drugs, but I can imagine like Richard Pryor and everybody who's done it being funny. It gives you it opens you up to be free. It's like being drunk,
and it helps get the pressure off of you.
And if you're depressed, it takes you don't think about the thing that's making you depressed.
Yes,
you're only concentrating on what you need to do to get something done.
It helps you escape.
Yeah. But it really does take a lot of celebrities out, and Whitney did battle with that for her whole life.
And because of her smoking, which Aretha had problems too,
it took her voice away.
Because if you notice,
Clive was mad about that.
Patti LaBelle doesn't smoke.
She doesn't do drugs either.
And she can still hear her high notes, even at her 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, she can still go high. Whitney was losing
and it also shows you, too, the movie did show, and in real life, too, it is difficult when everybody in your life is on your payroll.
Yes.
Her whole family.
And her dad was paying everybody.
Her brothers,
his other woman.
Every cousins, everybody was on her payroll.
Right.
So she said, I have to work.
Yes.
I can't not, because if I don't, my brother's family, she said my nieces, my nephew, nobody will eat.
Everybody does that in a lot of entertainers' lives. They feel like they need to be on the payroll, or they need to get you my famous aunt or cousin or nephew. You owe me something.
I don't have a problem with you putting everybody on the payroll, I don't have a problem with that.
I do.
This is my problem that I have.
Okay.
That's a cute little dog. This is the problem that I have. When they don't have anything else. They're on your payroll and they have nothing else going on in their lives other than you.
Like if they're on my payroll, they got to be doing something for me and helping me out.
Which is fine. But you got to have something on your own too going so that it's not all me.
Yeah, that's true. Like you ought to be, it's almost like teaching a man to fish and not just keep giving him the fish.
Yes.
Teach him how to fish.
If you're managing me, you should be managing other people.
Yeah.
I'm one of the people you're managing. You see what I'm saying? Like you manage me, your sister, and you manage some other upcoming artists, or you produce my songs, but you also produce and write for other artists and stuff. So that if I'm not singing, your whole life isn't gone because I'm not there anymore.
Right.
That was her.
Like leeches.
That was her. Everybody.
Because even if you got family members, real close, tight family members that you are helping financially,
you're
hopefully helping them with their business and their vision that they already have, like Oprah and her dad's barbershop.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
Oprah helped her dad's barbershop, but he kept being a barber.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mom?
Whitney's father went to his death. Want money from...
Yeah, they didn't play her father at all in this movie.
He wasn't a good character.
They made her father mean in this movie.
They made him money hungry.
And money hungry to the point to where he didn't care. You know what, honestly?
That was his golden
Who
duck.
produced this movie? It couldn't have been her mom and dad. Because they didn't look good in this movie. I think it was her sister-in-law, wasn't it? If y'all let it comment down, I think her sister-in-law did this movie.
Really?
I'm not sure, but it was her family. But that could not have been her.
They gave the rights for her music. Didn't they have problems with that?
I think it's her sister-in-law that owns the right. That might be the person that's managing it. Because she didn't like...
Is that the sister?
She didn't like the other Whitney Houston movie.
Who was the lady that was with her after Robin went away with the long hair? Was that a sister-in-law?
No. Oh, yes. That's her sister-in-law.
The one
in real life.
That was with her.
In real life.
She was with her dad's books. Okay, I can get the
She
books
was with her
you.
and she did this movie. Yeah. See, she didn't make him look good. And honestly, I think she was being soft. Her mom didn't look good in this movie.
Sissy?
Her mom didn't look good. Now, you said tell you something I didn't know. If that's true, how they portrayed her mom, that's something I didn't know. I thought her mom was much more
what was missing?
Motherly in real life than this movie showed. This movie pretty much showed her mom was wanting to be a star and it didn't happen, so they put it on Whitney.
And because the mother was sang at some place. Was it a club or something?
They was pushing
and
Whitney.
They were background. When she saw Clyde in the audience,
she put Whitney up front.
She got all of a sudden hoarse.
It did show that her mom wanted her to sing, but I didn't.
She pushed her out too much.
I just felt like it didn't show me her mom loved her. It showed they wanted her to be famous.
For some reason.
You think that mom? Yeah, like Joe Jackson.
Like I got a golden goose. I'm a hope.
Yes.
Let me put it out there.
That's how I felt.
This is gonna make us rich.
That's how I felt with Joe Jackson. Like he wanted them to practice and be perfect, not because he loved them and because he wanted them to be the best person they could be. It's because you my golden goose egg to get out of his ghetto.
Because she showed one scene where the mom couldn't even get a call through. Tell my daughter to call me. She named all the names.
She didn't even take her mom's call.
Now, a mother who is close to her daughter.
When Michael Jackson died, the only person who can get to him was his mom.
Really?
He didn't take calls from nobody else. His brothers, his sisters, Janet, nobody. The only person who had ever been able to get a phone call through him was his mom. But I always felt like Michael loved his mom.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like that with Whitney. I didn't feel that she loved her mom.
And I felt like the dad let her down.
I felt like the dad let her down.
He was taking advantage of her as well, becoming the golden goose.
Yeah. I almost felt like she was closer to her dad than her mom. Because you notice when she wanted Robin to be with her,
she had to ask
and her Robin said, Sissy will never let that happen. She don't like me. She said, well, let's go to dad.
Let's go to dad.
She had picked him to everything.
And probably people who are psychiatrists and know sociology as well. The dynamics with the mom and dad wasn't good.
No, they didn't like each other.
When she did a walk into her dad's office and saw the affair
with him, with his secretary,
that was kind of like she was losing that respect level.
Yeah.
But yet she loved him still to let him still be her manager. And then now she's starting to see her eyes open like, wait a minute, you work for me, Dad.
Her whole life, the way they showed, now that was a good part of the movie they showed. Whitney's whole life was doing what other people told her to do.
Yeah.
Her whole life was doing what people told her to do.
They showed a scene where she was torn between Bobby and
Robin.
Bobby
and she said, he's my husband.
That is her husband. But Robin is her friend for the beginning. Robin knows her. And even Robin must love her in order to separate herself from her, because she started to have other relationships too. Yeah. And they would play with each other. Who you talking to? Her name is Jane Doe or whatever.
Right.
But she still loved her to still stay connected.
I felt like Robin was the only one who really loved her. What do you think?
That's why they showed her having such a tantrum when she said, when she had that little fling with Jermaine Jackson.
Yeah.
Robin went off, like tearing things off.
Robin was not being realistic, especially back in those days in the 90s. There's no way you're going to be a lesbian relationship.
Yeah, he was like,
and you're going to be a pop star.
Keep this on the down low.
Now you can.
Yeah.
Now if Lizzo came out or whatever, nobody would care. Lizzo can.
Surprised,
But back in the 90s, no. So
you wasn't as out with it. Like to this day, people are still questioning when Luther was.
Yeah.
You know,
well, people, and that was the other thing. I was sitting there too when they kept saying best friend. I was like, that's why people be talking about Oprah and Gail.
Yeah,
I think Oprah and Gail are friends, but
they buddies like.
But that's how Robin and Whitney was, and everybody was like, yeah, y'all a little bit more than buddies. But I still think Oprah and Gail are buddies.
That goes back even to Bible days. People thought David and Jonathan were like that.
Yeah. Wendy, what does that say? Where are you at? We coming from the movies.
Yeah, we're doing a
we're doing a review of I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
We won't get back to do our live show, so we're going live in the car right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I did love, now here's the thing that I did like about the movie.
What?
Again, the music. You can't take that away from her. You even said that, Mom. Whitney Houston can sing.
Oh, she can sing.
If I was sitting and listening to Whitney Houston, if I was watching a movie with Michael Jackson, if I was watching a movie with Stevie Wonder,
and they had the real singers,
and I would sing every song, everything these artists have made, every hit.
Yeah, and it did make you go, she had a lot of songs. Every song they played, I was like, oh yeah, that was number one too. That was number one too.
One thing that made me concerned, and even when I thought about it, I did kind of know that she was shunned by black.
Oh, I knew that. I knew that.
But here's the thing that
remember I told you before I came to see the movie that black people didn't.
Here's the thing that make me mad, and if this is all true, like she was saying, where you getting that from? To the radio guy that invited her on there. Where you hearing this from?
Right.
And I get what she's saying. We always put color.
Yeah. And she said, I don't have a color to my songs. I just sing.
She's a crossover artist.
But again, trying to please everybody, she want to ghetto up and start dating Bobby Brown.
To please the black.
So now black people was like, oh, well, she dating Bobby Brown. Now, she black.
Yeah.
You can't date Bobby Brown if you ain't black.
See,
that's what I'm saying. Again, she always tried to, to me, the movie made it seem like she was chasing something. I want to be the best.
You think she was trying to be pleasers, men pleasers?
I want the whole world to know me.
Yeah. She wanted to be big. Remember, she said, I want to sing big songs.
And Ma, you said that. What is it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And I think she lost her soul. Because she was chasing the world.
But then I think she got reconnected when she hooked up with CC, BB Winans, back to her gospel roots.
That gospel roots.
Back to the word where she knew the word.
Yeah.
She knew.
She was quoting scriptures throughout the whole thing.
And even to Clyde, she quoted Matthew something.
Yeah.
Clyde was like, Jesus was a Jew.
His mom's side. Yeah. I did feel like again, the movie missed that part. From what I was
Very
able
true.
to see in real life, watching her and, the interviews and just kind of seeing the things, I didn't know her personally, but I felt like she really did have a connection with God. And she knew. I felt the same way with Marvin Gaye.
And I would like to add something. In the end, before she passed away, she visited a pastor, an evangelist, and she repented, and they prayed for her.
Oh, good. Okay. So I felt like that we don't know what happened in the bathtub. We don't know what happened.
Right. They said it was drug related with the drowning.
They never showed her doing drugs. They always showing her taking the paraphernalia out in this movie.
Right.
That's why I said it was her family that did this movie.
With a pipe that she had with her brother.
But they never showed her strung out. It wasn't a bad Whitney in this movie.
What they did in that, when her mom came to the house and they took her out, that's the most I've seen. If that was true.
And if that's
how
true,
she was seen,
why would you handcuff somebody that's on drugs?
Because it's a felony. They're
I know,
arrested.
but I always wonder that when they make people that strung out or whatever go to jail.
They may go off. They may go.
But they need to go to rehab, not a prison.
Saying, as the police come to take them, they can have a reaction and fight.
No, that's true.
You never
that's
know.
true.
It protects them too.
Yeah, that's true. They took her out.
Going back to the comment about her being shunned, I thought about Diana Ross. Diana Ross was not always received by black audiences.
Diana Ross wasn't received until she did The Wiz.
No, not even after The Wiz. I think part of The Wiz and her daughter. I think her daughter was instrumental. The one at Tracy Ross,
and Girlfriends and stuff,
being in Blackish, being around
you're
blacks,
right. Yeah,
because she brought her mom on stage at the NAACP.
Yeah, it's that whole thing.
I don't like when we do that.
When we do that as black people, we like that. If you become too popular, they say you're not black. Can you read that? I can't read that.
Where?
Hello, ladies, just came on. Hope you all
doing great.
Oh, good. All right, who is that?
Thank you, Sheila.
Okay, I can't see y'all. I have no glasses on.
But that's one thing I don't like when we, as different races of people, do that. Because not just blacks do that. Other artists do that as well. Other ethnic groups may do that because and other people.
What other ethnic group do that?
Not so much other ethnic groups, but other things have come at artists like they did Al Jarreau.
Yeah,
when Al Jarreau, he's a jazz
You're still
artist.
saying black? It's always us.
Well, no, it wasn't just him. No, it wasn't just black people.
Oh, okay.
Let me explain. With the Al Jarreau situation, it was jazz artists.
Oh, yeah.
Jazz lovers.
You're not pure.
They didn't like him when he went crossover.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Melody.
Right.
What's wrong? You lose. You leaving the
You're
jazz.
You're not pure
groups.
jazz anymore.
And he was like, he got bothered with that.
Yeah.
And still had to show his connection with jazz.
But Whitney Houston she started as a pop star, so you can't expect her to be doing R&B.
She didn't come out singing, baby, 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 I love you.
Yeah.
Ain't no doubt about it.
So I thought it was surfacey.
Yeah.
Now, if I was a Whitney, would you go see it if you was a Whitney Houston fan? See?
I don't know. No.
There was nothing about this movie, in my opinion, that I didn't already know about Whitney Houston.
Well,
I didn't walk. The only good thing, like I said, is I love the music. I love singing the music.
I thought they were doing the movie because they were going to share some things that got deeper into her character.
Nothing. It was surface.
Her growing up.
It was surface.
I would have been happy to see maybe a half hour of her being young. Being
something, or strung out on drugs or something. She was surfacey.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if I blame the actress for that because she's doing the script.
And then too, talking about the radio guy who did ask her about the black thing, they didn't even talk about the movies that she was in, like Waiting to Exhale. You can only do one or the other because judgment is real when it comes to artists.
Let me read it.
One or the other.
Because you got glasses and you can't read it.
I'm far away from you.
You can only do one or the other because judgment is real when it comes to artists. Oh, yeah. People feel like if you do something else, people will be like, you're not supposed to sing country music and
as an artist, though, you have to be careful with that because like she did say on the radio station and talking back to him, I sing what I want to sing.
Yeah.
I sing what I like. I sing what I feel.
Right. I did like that, though. They did show that she did have a hand in, now that was something I didn't know. She did have a hand in choosing the songs that she wanted.
Yes.
If people would send her hundreds of songs.
Clyde would play each one. No.
And if she didn't want to sing it, she didn't sing it.
She said nope.
And then there were songs that she turned down, and years later, she sung.
Yep.
Because it didn't fit her life, but later on it fit her life.
Yes.
And then
said she wasn't old enough.
Yeah, she wasn't old enough.
As she got older, she experienced a lot of those topics. And then the
other thing it did show. Okay, I'm starting to learn stuff. You're right.
Okay.
I didn't know she could read music.
Oh,
remember when she was at the piano at the thing with her brother?
Yes.
She was reading the music.
She said in the counts. She said, "You want me to hold the note that
long?
20
counts and then do this
and come back and breathe." He said, "Well, you can breathe after the such."
And he said, "But nobody sings like that." He goes, "You do."
You do.
And I thought about the song, and I went, I haven't heard another song like that. It was that last song.
It was a medley.
Don't make me, because you holding it.
Right.
But he was talking about that last song.
I know, but he said he introduced the medley to her, and then when the last one
right. It's the notes. And I thought about it when she said it. That song, I went, you know what?
Stay in my... Go ahead.
I thought about it when she did that song. I haven't heard anybody else do a song like that.
Her to do it.
So she's right. I haven't heard anybody hold those notes, and then she said, and then come out of the hold and go up.
Yes.
So maybe that's why that song stick. Yeah.
Make me
right, then go right back. Yeah. That put her in a whole nother category of a singer.
One thing though, it showed that she was a little bit of she was it tried to be controlling in a way where she didn't listen sometimes.
Don't you think the record labels label the artists? Yeah, the record label and the radio stations.
They're trying to market you.
They marketing you.
And the label companies, they see you in a certain market, and they're like, and then Kim, you was even saying it when we would see nobody else at that time came out like a Whitney. Yeah. So she was in a lane by herself.
Yeah, she was in a lane by herself. And here's the thing now with artists now, they kind of breaking those records now because they doing whatever they want. You have these Lizzos coming out and what's her name that start with a D? You know what I'm talking about. You don't know who I'm talking about.
Or her.
You know who I'm talking about, or her, or any of them. They kind of rapping and doing
Bruno Mars,
doing all Bruno, going back to 70s
just
type
a mixture,
of So now I love the artists now because they're able to be a little bit more free. They kind of still box them up a little bit, but when the days of Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson and all of them, they forced you to be in a lane, and if you try to get out of it, Michael was a little bit more freer than Whitney because he was in Motown. So Michael could come and sing urban song,
but he got more freer when he broke from Motown.
But I'm saying Michael Jackson was different because of the ABC, not ABC, but Motown. People, if he did a soul song or whatever, nobody would go, what is he doing?
Exactly.
Because he had those roots from being in Motown. Whitney started with Clive Davis as a pop artist. So when she did anything else, people go, when she did gospel, people go,
I don't know about that one.
But when you hang with CeCe Winans, you kind of get, people go, okay, I'll give you that. You can, And then she did movies that helped.
The movies put her out there even more. But I didn't know that when we watched her getting in the movie Bodyguard.
Oh, that Kevin Costner is the one
he was the one that brought Dolly Parton's song to her.
I didn't know that.
You need a big song in the Bodyguard, and he brought I will always love you.
Big True says, have a good afternoon, lady. Shea Brown says, well, they gave Tamala and David Man down the road when they made that Love album. And MCs say, why did Whitney get booed and Janet get cheered? Oh yeah, I've been talking to my friend about that. Janet wasn't singing black music. You know why? This is what I think.
That did happen at the Soul Train Awards.
Janet won, in all honesty, and I love Janet Jackson, and they cheered
because of her writers.
Because she's a Jackson.
Oh, a Jackson.
And it was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Terry Lewis.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are black.
Yeah, and they wrote for a lot of other artists.
And that's why Clive Davis in the movie said, why don't you, he told Whitney, why don't you give Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis
No, he said Babyface and the other guy.
To produce your next album.
To produce her next album.
In other words, if you want black people to accept you, you got to have black producers and stuff. They're not going to accept you. And Janet was smart enough to do that. Honestly, she went against Joe, who didn't want her. He didn't want her to sound like Prince.
And Janet went to Minneapolis. She danced. We black people love dancing.
Yeah. And then Whitney and Bobby did say this. At the award show, he did turn around and say, "Don't worry about it.
Yes.
You Whitney Houston.
You Whitney. It don't matter."
And she gave him her number. He said that, and she said that.
Yes.
That she kind of chased after Bobby Brown.
I know.
Because he was nice to her.
A bad boy. And he was a bad boy too. Robin said, "You liked him, don't you?
You like bad boys." And Jermaine Jackson wasn't no bad boy.
I know. That's why that was news to me. I did not know she hooked up with Jermaine Jackson.
Eddie Murphy, all of them back then.
Wow.
But yeah, so it was, that was,
It's interesting back then, and like you was even explaining how music is today as far as the artist. And knowing the journey and the road they want to be on and where they want to stay on and the style of music they want. Because the worst thing is, taking a chance is fine. You don't want to waste money. But if you put an album out there or a style of music and your fans don't buy it, you're upset. You wasted money on that album. Then you go back to your lane that you need to stay in.
It showed the movie showed the music business from the father standpoint, ripping her off.
Yeah.
But it really didn't show the music business from the business that Whitney was in, which is they kind of showed the Clive Davis thing, but they really made Clive Davis he didn't look bad in this movie. And anybody who knows Clive Davis in real life, Clive Davis is a shark.
Yeah.
He didn't come off sharky at all in this movie. So I felt like, or the record label, or any of that. Right. So I don't know. And he did leave that record label.
Yeah, that's what the dad was asking when he sat down to write
the contract.
He said, "If you leave,
does she go with you?
She go with you,
or does she stay? Because I'm not into the record company. I'm into you.
You stay with her." He couldn't promise him that.
Yeah.
He'll say, "I'll try." One other thing though in this movie, I'm old school, so we can talk old school. A lot of old school artists are still out there on stage singing, and there's some that you go, "Ooh, you need to sit down. Your voice is
Shaka
not the
Khan
same.
needs to sit down now.
You can't hit those high notes like you used to." Now we know
we love Shaka Khan, but Shaka Khan don't sing the same way.
But Whitney, a lot of wear and tear, a lot of smoking, a lot of drugs brought her, and they even said it in the movie when she had a concert out of the country.
Yeah.
People booed and they left. They wanted their money back. When she was on Good Morning America with her daughter.
Yeah.
And they came out they had those Friday shows where the artists would come out outside in the park in New York.
Yeah.
Her voice was shot.
Yeah.
Her daughter sang and she couldn't hardly sing either. Right. I felt really bad for her.
And they didn't show that in the movie.
They didn't.
And they didn't show, if y'all remember Whitney Houston towards the end, Whitney would always sing and we'd be like, "Okay, Whitney." But Whitney be like, no, I gotta sing.
I gotta do this.
I gotta do this. I got to be up in front of everybody.
Yes.
They just didn't, I don't know.
She pushed herself. Even vocally, she wasn't there. Even her what's the guy's name that was in the group that got the songs for her or whatever? Yeah. He even said, no. Don't sing at Clyde's thing.
I'm gonna say something controversial.
What?
I didn't like Whitney Houston in this movie.
What do you mean you didn't like Whitney Houston?
I didn't like her.
You didn't like her and the character.
I wouldn't have liked her.
I don't.
What would make me want to be her friend? Was there anything in this movie that would have made you say, "I like her. She's a giver. She gives to the homeless people. She's a good woman. She's a upstanding citizen"?
But they never showed.
They didn't show any. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing, though, that I'm begging to differ.
Okay.
The little bit we all know about CeCe and BB Winans.
They don't play. CeCe don't play.
The Winans family, they love to have fun. Even Vicky Winans, they love to humor and laugh.
That's what was missing. She didn't laugh in this movie.
No.
It didn't show me the fun, Whitney. Why do people want to be her friend?
Yes.
Why would I want to talk to her? Why would she? There's nothing. Even her relationship with Bobby in the movie. Yes. Why were they together? There was nothing in that movie that made me say.
She claimed that he made her laugh and just.
They didn't show it.
But they didn't show it, and they didn't show other circles of people that she connected with.
I guess they tried to with Robin when they had them laughing at the house and falling down and having fun. That fun Whitney.
Yeah, to break loose.
Gone. They didn't show that at all. It's almost like as soon as she became famous, she was a whole nother person. Yeah. She wasn't fun anymore. And she was depressed. Like you
said earlier, she felt the load of her family.
I felt like, and the other thing too that made me feel, I really honestly felt like she wanted to be famous. She wanted to be big, but she didn't want the things that come with. She didn't want what comes with it. Yeah. And I felt the same way about Michael Jackson.
Yes.
I felt like he liked being the king of pop. Yes. He liked being, people say, you the king of pop. We love you. But he didn't like all the stuff that comes with it.
I can't go to the store.
It all comes with it, buddy.
Go and play at the playground.
It all comes with it. You can't have that.
Yeah.
That's why the Bible says that. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Yeah. People keep thinking that when they say that verse, they talking about you go to hell or you lose your salvation. I don't think that's what it means. I think your soul
is lost.
Who you are.
Yeah, your soul is your emotion.
It's you. It's your being. Because you gained the whole world. And you don't even know who you are anymore. Yeah, you have no identity. You don't know. You cannot connect it to anything of who you are, your essence, your being, your all of that.
Connected to the true creator of this world.
Exactly.
And it's a void.
Yes. I don't think it has anything to do with heaven and hell. People always preach it that way. They always preach it that way so you don't want to be famous and have money.
Right.
Be poor and go to heaven. No, you don't have to be poor and go to heaven. You can be famous and still saved and go to heaven.
Solomon was the richest man in the world.
Exactly.
David's son.
Yes. You can still be famous like Denzel Washington.
People are so afraid to be famous because of that. It's a lot of stuff that comes with being famous.
But I think what God was saying there was, don't become so famous that you lose who you are.
The core of your soul. Now, remembering that God created man in his image and in his likeness. You're losing that.
You're losing it.
You're not connected no more.
And you also lose touch of reality. Because everybody around you is on payroll.
Yes.
No one is going to tell you the truth.
You don't trust anybody. You're paranoid.
And why would I tell you the truth? You're going to fire me. Like Kanye. That's why nobody tells him the truth.
Yeah, men pleasers. Yes, that's people. Yes, man. Yes, man.
And the people who are real.
I want to get paid.
The people who are real, I would say Kanye. The people who are real, he don't deal with them because they telling him the truth. And he don't want people around him that's telling him the truth.
Kim, it's funny too because there are times where people who want to tell you the truth don't want to get paid because that's not their motive.
If I'm not on your payroll,
I don't care about being on the payroll.
And
I don't love you so much,
and I don't care about you never talking to me again. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear,
son, daughter, niece,
but you
nephew.
get so big, dude, you can't even hear me.
You don't even listen.
No, you can't hear me because I can't get to you.
Yeah.
If you're that big. Prayer. How do I call you? You gotta pray.
You have to pray. Prayer is gonna break.
So the people that's around you that love you, that can't get to you, we'll even say Kanye. The people in his family who love him, they pray. They gotta pray. They can't pick up the phone and call him because he ain't gonna want to listen to them. So I don't know. I just felt this movie was depressing.
I see what you're saying though. It didn't show the relationship, or maybe it did. The lack of her mom and dad imparting to her as a child.
And it didn't tell me who Whitney Houston was.
Yeah.
It told me who she was as a singer, but it didn't tell me who she was as a person. It didn't tell me her back and forth with her spirituality versus is she too carnal? Is she doing what God wants her to do? None of that was touched on. So I felt like it didn't, when I think of Whitney Houston, I think of people like Marvin Gaye. And I just feel like if you're going to do a Marvin Gaye movie, you got to do a movie with him having that battle because he talked about it. Too. Yeah, he talked about it. So
yeah, she did wrap herself around her baby to her daughter because I didn't know she had miscarried her first child.
A couple of them, I think. It was a couple of children she lost. So I don't know.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm glad we didn't pay a lot for the movie.
No, we went on $5 Tuesday. But yeah, so again,
and it was packed.
I know.
And packed with mostly white people.
Yeah, you know they love Whitney Houston.
They love Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Convention lady or whatever.
So, it was a lady in there who was talking loud. She had dementia.
Yeah.
And y'all was getting
we
upset.
had to be reminded that my grandmother was.
That's
like
why I was
that.
telling you, Mom, when you was getting mad, I said, Mom, the lady got dementia.
We would take our grandmother to the movies, and she'll she'll have conversations with you, or she'll talk at the screen.
But you got to.
Why is that man doing that? That's just wrong.
And I feel bad, but y'all have to understand. Stop. If you know you got a kid or you got a parent or son with dementia, why y'all taking them to the movies?
You should go on a day with the time when nobody's in the theater.
I feel for you. I understand. I'm sympathetic, but I don't like that.
She's sympathetic because she got up with her phone to
get out of here.
Showing the kid.
Get in the. I got up and helped.
She was fussing. Nice. Get your hands off me! In the name of Jesus.
And I got up and helped. And that lady said Jesus' name. I went, oh, she a Christian. I said, God bless you. Yeah. To that lady.
You did.
Yeah, because she was saying in the name of Jesus. I was like, she don't remember nothing else, but she remember Jesus' name.
Oh, because grandma would do that. Grandma be fussing.
She remembered
I want to go
Jesus'
home.
Name.
Take me home.
I said, okay.
I want to go home.
And I just felt like the Holy Spirit had me get up and help the lady take her mom out.
They felt a little
and when I talked to the lady, I was saying, you don't have, girl, everybody in here understand. And she said, thank you.
Because I didn't know at first when they were talking,
right,
that it was that lady in the wheelchair.
I said, nobody, honey, ain't nobody in here. You don't need to be embarrassed. We all know you taking your mom out.
The floor.
That's what I'm saying. People who have crying babies. Why do you sit way up in the stand? Sit by the door.
Yeah, so you can exit real quick.
If you buy a ticket, say, you know what? I'm bringing Ralph and the little kid. Yeah. I don't know if Ralph Jr. gonna cry. I'm gonna sit by the door, and if this knucklehead starts crying, I'm gonna get up.
You can run out,
and I'll take him out. But don't sit there. Come on, Ralph. Come on, Ralph. Ralph. Come on, Ralph. Where's Ralph's bottle? Come on, Ralph. Come on, Ralph.
Yeah, everybody looking up.
Here's some cookies, Ralph. Here's some cookies, Ralph. Ralph. It's like, just get out of here with Ralph.
I didn't understand because the first floor, the movie theaters have the handicap section on the main floor. They had her upstairs. They had climbed down some stairs with a wheelchair.
This is what I would have done with this lady. And if this lady in the back start getting like this, she getting it too.
She ain't even going.
This is the treatment. I'm saying if she going, we don't know. If it's like the beginning stages and we don't know how she going. Well, we're gonna happen. What's gonna happen? I'll tell y'all now. We're going in. We're gonna have a chair by the thing. We're not even getting her chair. She's staying in her wheelchair. She's not even sitting in a movie chair. She's staying right in her wheelchair.
That thing unlock.
And if she starts talking, I'm gonna roll her right out. Watch this. I'm gonna roll her to the main door and sit her there, and then I'm gonna come back to the aisle and stand in the aisle on the side where you can't see the movie. I'm gonna watch the movie while she out
in the wheelchair.
I'm gonna give her some popcorn and let her sit at the door.
And she'll watch people walk by.
And she'll watch people walk by as I watch the movie. I already know what to do.
That's just wrong. That's wrong.
Because they missed the movie. They had to take the lady out.
They sure did.
Yeah. I will roll her right to that door.
You'll go right back in the aisle.
I'll go right back. I'll be where I can see her. See the difference? See, you can't do that with a kid, because somebody will kidnap a kid. But an older adult, she's sitting in a wheelchair by the door.
That's a good idea.
Now, Ralph, you got to take him out. You can't do nothing for Ralph.
Because even if you had that little thing that you hold on,
there's nothing you can do with Ralph.
Link them together.
Yeah,
somebody can cut that and still take them.
You can't leave Ralph by the door. No. But an older adult, she's there by the door.
In her wheelchair. Yeah. Watching people go by.
And I'm gonna be like this, looking around the corner, still seeing the movie.
What happened? Did he go? Oh, okay.
Right, exactly.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, that's the truth. So that's what's happening. Well, I'm letting everybody know that. Not taking them 3 rows up, and I gotta.
I know they had to climb the stairs to go down, and she's saying, "Don't touch me,
don't touch me."
In Jesus' name. And we all sitting in the movie like this, like, oh God, wish she heard him get her out of here.
And then she talked the whole way out.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
funny.
so that was funny.
But I like the one thing I did like about this movie. When I sat down
and Mama getting mad at the beginning.
I know.
I wish she would be quiet. I said, "Ma, the lady got dementia."
Like your mother.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I thought it was just some lady back there talking.
Just having a conversation. And then she said, "Ma'am."
Let me tell you. Yeah, my mother said, "Ma'am, would you be quiet?" I said, "Ma."
I didn't say that.
No.
What'd you say, Mom?
No,
you said something. I
wish I told Kim. I wish they would be quiet.
Yeah, she said to me, I wish she'd be quiet.
Said something.
I said it loud.
But here's the thing. I knew the lady had dementia because it wasn't a normal, she wasn't talking normal conversation.
Oh, I didn't know.
People like you, who I can't stand, to have normal conversations.
We would do that.
Lenore and her friend would sit in a movie and have full conversations.
We'll look and say, girl, just say, I wonder if she wearing that wig.
Oh my God.
That wig? Did we ever see her in that wig?
Every stereotype of black movie, that was Lenore and her friend. Oh, don't go in there. Why is he doing that?
I did say
girl, I wouldn't do that.
It was
he
funny
need to
because,
stop that.
He can't before Robin, after Robin, I said, oh, I know they not gonna get a. Y'all know they.
I heard you and Mama. Y'all was sitting next to each other, and I could hear y'all talking.
Yo, really?
Yes, Lenore talks.
I told you I was gonna sing. The lady next to me was singing.
Yeah,
we all was singing.
Yeah,
a song.
that was too
Everybody much. Sang Whitney Houston's
but
song.
But I was singing too, but not loud. But
I was singing loud.
But you was also talking.
Yeah, I was talking.
I could hear you. That's why I was like, I can't sit next to her because she talks in movies. I hate people that talk during movies. But that old lady wasn't having those type of conversations. Oh. She was just talking general, like, hey, ooh, baby. Oh, what was that? What we gonna do tomorrow? Nothing to do with the movie. So I said, Ma, she see now, Ma. She got dementia or something. Okay. So we was right. Okay. But all right, that was it. That was the movie. So,
I would say go see it if you can see it at a good $15.
If you like Whitney Houston and you want to see this lady in the office looking at us, or that man, I guess. Because we sitting out here looking. He's wondering what we doing. If you like Whitney Houston,
because I don't want to leave the car.
If you like Whitney Houston and you like her music, then go see the movie.
Yeah.
Because that's the point of the movie if you listen to her music. But if you're going to see a good movie,
like a good storyline,
or you want to learn about Whitney Houston, this is not the moment.
Basic information about her.
This is basic. Very surface. surface.
Because they didn't get into the movies that she
and
did.
then I didn't like the fact that the lady didn't look like her at all.
Yeah.
And then to show the real Whitney Houston at the end made me even know she don't look like her.
She had the teeth. It was just like she added teeth because it made her lips come out, and her lips were a little.
She didn't look like her at all to me.
Yeah.
You could have got any black woman to play that. She didn't look like her at all.
No, but it was about the acting. You can't just get any woman to play her.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But if you're gonna have acting, at least give me something. Give me a good script. In other words, you could have just got a good-looking girl to play her. Yeah, that's how I felt.
They could have found an actress.
Yeah,
a newcomer,
upcoming actress that looks like Whitney Houston. Yeah, so that's true. All right, that was it. Anything else to add, Ma?
That's it.
That was it.
That was it. Another thing I didn't know is I didn't know she and Robin were from the very beginning. I thought Robin came
teenagers.
Later. Yeah,
very beginning.
Because she asked her what school she went to. She said, because she named the city area. Like Robin is from that area. Yeah. And Whitney went to a private
And wasn't it funny when you saw the lady in the movie play when she met Robin, and also when they did the Merv Griffin show.
Yeah.
And then in real life at the end when they show, you saw how young Whitney was.
Oh, yeah.
She looked like she was 17.
When she had a little afro.
Yeah. That was when Clive met her.
Yeah, because she had the same outfit on. I'm assuming that every outfit that the lady wore in this movie was the actual outfit. She had jeans on, and the daddy was not liking that.
She was looking too much like a boy, tomboy.
Yeah, he said, and you to Robin, young lady, why you wear your hair short?
Yeah. So
that bothered
all right, but but the according to this movie, if it is her sister-in-law, she made Whitney Houston full blown.
You saying that lady that
is over this movie? That's her.
Was her the character that she played in the movie later when she was?
And this will be the last thing. I felt she made Whitney Houston full blown lesbian, and that she was not happy that she could not live her life that way. Yeah. That's what I took away from it.
She said she wanted kids though.
Right. But you can still have kids as a lesbian.
I'm just saying I think she was trying to please her dad.
Yeah. So all right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right, y'all. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Always believe. Make sure you subscribe to our new channel, Woods Relax Sleep Sounds, all one word. And that was another Woods Report. And you guys have a nice day.